Welcome back to the Bourbon Note, everybody. I'm Ben. I've got a pretty interesting one on the bar tonight. Let's get into it. So on the bar tonight, I've got BAM from Starlight Distillery. This is single barrel, finished in grape brandy barrels. So this is a single barrel bourbon, and it's from East Avenue Liquor Store, somewhere in New York. And the reason I have a single barrel pick from New York is because I got it from my friends over at Bourbon School. Brian, Marianne, Lauren, go check them out. Fantastic channel and even better people. So go definitely hit a subscribe over on their channel. And as I said in the intro, this is bourbon whiskey finished in grape brandy barrels. So a lot of times, if there's some sort of weird store pick, I don't know, I'm kind of hesitant as to whether or not I should review it because it's a store pick, so only people that live by that store can really get it. But then sometimes I do like to review single barrel versions of certain bourbons. What intrigued me about this is grape brandy barrels. That sounds amazing to me. I've never had any bourbon finished in grape brandy barrels. And this is also distilled, aged, and bottled by Starlight Distillery. So Starlight is, I don't know, size-wise, what size distiller they are. Starlight is not available in Minnesota, so that's another reason why I'm kind of excited to review this bottle, is because I don't get to have their products very often. They are available in Wisconsin. Last time I was over in Hudson, which is the closest part of Wisconsin to me, they did have some Starlight products. So depending on how much I like this one, I might have to go over there and pick some up, because I have had two previous Starlight single barrel picks finished before, and I absolutely loved both of them. And I don't know if those were sourced or not, so I don't know when Starlight started doing their own distillation. This says it's aged 4 years, 119.4 proof. So basically, I mean, if you live near East Avenue Liquor and Wine, wherever that is, you could go buy one of these. If nothing else, just consider this a review of Starlight as a distillery and what they're kind of doing experimentally with finishing. And maybe if you ever come across a grape brandy barrel finished bourbon, whether or not you should make it a point to put that in your mouth. That's what this review's all about. Let's get into it on the nose. Whew! Ton of flavor coming out of this one. I always wonder when they say, it's finished, but they give an age statement, and a lot of times they don't specify how long the finish was. So I don't know if the 4 years was in the regular cask and then it was finished for an unknown amount of time, or a total of 4 years. It's interesting, it does not say straight bourbon whiskey. So that's kind of interesting. But either way, there's a hell of a lot of flavor jumping out of the glass on this one for 4 years. I'm impressed. Could be power of a suggestion, but you know what? I'm getting some grape notes off of it. Some really, really nice, sweet, fruity. But there's a great underlying caramel and oak. I'm surprised at 4 years there's a really nice oak presence on this. I'm assuming from the finish. Oh yeah, that's great on the nose. Let's get into the palate. Cheers. So on the first sip of that, there's a really nice bite from the 119 proof, and then there's the fruit flavors kind of on the mid palate, and then a wave of oak on the finish. And that first sip was a really, really nice sip of bourbon. I'm impressed with this. I was excited to get into this just, again, because I've never had anything in a grape brandy cask before. I did mention in a video a few weeks ago, I did a video about the top things that I'm excited about in bourbon. And one of them was the experimentation that a lot of places are doing. I know a lot of people don't feel the same way. Some people are getting sick of, all the different finishes, and here's cigar batch this and stave finish that and whatever. But you know, I personally kind of welcome that, just because it's like, just because they're doing interesting things with new bourbons doesn't mean they took the old ones away from you, you know? If you don't like finished bourbons, you don't have to buy them. They're not taking away your favorite bourbon and putting a finished bourbon in its place, at least not that I know of, you know? Just because Metallica made Saint Anger doesn't mean they took Master of Puppets away from us. So it's not a big deal. You can just pick which one you want. But I happen to really like it when distilleries, especially new ones, you know, this one is distilled by Starlight, which kudos to them right off the bat for being their own distillate at 4 years. This is fantastic. I'm really liking it based on that first sip. Definitely going to get a little more into it, but just based on that, right off the bat, you know, 2 thumbs up for their efforts on this one. But especially when, you know, distilleries, you know, non-producing distilleries or non-distilling producers, whatever that freaking title is, when they're sourcing whiskey, it's nice if they're at least doing something with it, you know? And I talked about that in a previous video. You know, brands that are not producing their own whiskey, at least if they're taking sourced whiskey and doing something with it on their own to put their own signature on it, I think that's great. So anyway, sorry, that's my little spiel about finished bourbons. But let's get into the second sip here to pick this one apart a little bit more. Cheers. So after exploring this one a little bit more, I gotta say I am a huge fan of this bottle. And definitely next time I'm over in Hudson, Wisconsin, I'll definitely be picking up some Starlight products because I want to explore this brand more. Side note, Hudson, Wisconsin, great town, underrated. If you're ever in the area, check it out. But no, this is really interesting. And, you know, again, at the 4-year age statement, there is nothing about this that comes across as youthy whatsoever. This comes across actually as a nice, well-aged bourbon. There's a nice spice to it, a nice oak spice. The finish lasts for days on this one, at least right now. I like on that second sip, when I cut away there, I took a couple of sips and just kind of sat with it for a little bit. And the finish is really, really nicely long lasting. It's got a decent mouthfeel to it, nice viscosity. And yeah, just like those nice fruit notes kind of complementing the sweetness of the bourbon, and then that kind of, you know, wave of oak spice on the finish. It's just overall, I think this is a great bourbon. So thank you again, Brian, Marie-Ann, and Lauren for sending this bottle over. I think Brian and Marie-Ann sent out a few. I don't know if they sent out the same bottle. I won this in the Patreon drawing. So go check out their Patreon if you want to win bottles sometimes for their birthday month. So Brian and Marie-Ann went out and purchased some bottles for their birthday month to give away on the Patreon. And I was lucky enough to be one of the winners, so that's awesome. But yeah, this is great. There are some notes on the back that I have not read yet. Anytime it looks like it's going to say anything about the bourbon, I usually don't read it before I do the review, just because I don't want to be influenced by it. But now that I've had the bourbon, let's check it out. It says aged after a minimum 4 years in new charred oak. Obviously, it's bourbon. This blend is finished in estate-grown grape brandy barrels. So I wonder if that's like their own estate. The finish provides soft and sweet fruit characteristics to complement the rye spice, wood sugars, and fruit of our Carl T blend. And Carl T is I don't know, there's a story about him. His name is on the front here. But yeah, I'm getting the fruit a little more up front than on the finish, than what it said here. But yeah, the fruit note is really, really there. But yeah, this whole thing from start to finish is great. I also noticed on the front here, it says distilled on Huber's Farm, small batch. There is like a little image of a pot still. If this is a pot still whiskey, it's not getting any of the characteristics that I typically get from pot stills. And some of that might just be in my head, but I associate pot stills with kind of like a musty flavor sometimes. There's been a number of ones that I know are pot still that really come across that way. And this isn't at all. This is coming across as like a legacy distillery level bourbon. Like this doesn't come across as craft at all. This comes across as a well-established distillery that knows what it's doing. So yeah, this is great. Let's go in for the final sip. Yeah, I don't know much more to say about this that I haven't already said. This is great. It's making me want to explore Starlight more, so well done, Starlight, on this product. And again, a special thank you to my friends over at Bourbon School. So go check out Brian, Marianne, and Lauren over at Bourbon School. They've got a great channel. This has been Starlight Distillery single barrel finished in grape brandy barrels. If you come across this particular bottle or any bottle from Starlight that's finished in grape brandy barrels, you should put it in your mouth for sure. This is The Bourbon Note. I'm Ben. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next one.